Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to High Top Sports here on Champs Corner. Beautiful Monday afternoon. It's been nice. You've seen a lot of me over the last 48 hours. We had 2 commits yesterday. I dropped you a little nugget today. We got more nuggets today as well later on in the day. Then we're going to play a little game. We're going to do kind of like our favorite dream team offense, Stephen Harris and I. And look, the rules will explain them, but we had a parameter that we could pick these players, okay? Small parameters. So the Tebows, the Percys, the Stephen Harris, they were involved, okay? Because those guys played, Harris especially, played way back in the day, okay? I don't think they had internet back then. How to put our team together. We only have one guy that's the same, so it's going to be a fun one. We'll talk about it. We'll get after it. It's going to be a fantastic show. Smash the like button and subscribe. Shout out to the chat really quick. If you've noticed, we've got a little leaderboard on the side of the chat now. We've got a little thing that we're doing, and the more that you comment, you move yourself up with a little crown. So right now, in first place, we've got Gator Boy, because he's been the most active, whether it's likes, comments, super chats help as well, but mainly just interacting with the chat. Dave is coming in second, Swolder that is, or third, excuse me, and Bourbon Gators set at number 2. So the more you comment, the more you interact, you get that crown as we move along. A little interactive for the chat, keep you guys engaged and having a good time. I love a little friendly competition. I could maybe give you an award at the end. I don't know if I could, I would. Without further ado, let's get his co-host in here, boys and girls. With Steve Harris. Joins us. There he is.
Let's go, baby.
There he is. There he is. Good to see him, man. How you doing, big guy?
Good, man. Always good to see you, bro. Always good to catch up, man. You know, good, beautiful Monday. High Top Sports, baby. Let's get it. Let's go, like Dave say.
Let's get it. Let's go. Likewise, Monday's always a fun day. It's always great to kick off the week. Like I said, we've had a jam-packed couple of days here from yesterday into today. You know, we there's some murmurings. Thought we were gonna have another one this morning. Heisman tweeted out his little thing, had me fired up, right? And got a crystal ball. We'll talk about that obviously here in just a few moments, but maybe we'll get some more. Before we get into it, though, I do want to let you know, obviously, if anything breaks, we'll be rock and roll. With it being recruitment season, I recommend turning the bell on so you can be informed when things are popping.
Turn it on.
But Wednesday, gonna be a banger of a show. I mean, we have been lining up some elite shows over these last few weeks. Shout out to Mr. Harris again for locking one in. I didn't do my check. Yes, Mom.
I missed my Monday night polling.
Is this now a thing?
Listen,
Harris before the show said I gotta call Mom, make sure she doesn't call. I guess I should have done a pre-check.
look, that's amazing. I called it out.
I'm like, yeah. Hi, guys.
Hey, mama. Hey, mama. We love you.
It's Monday night mom. It's Monday night mom.
I think there's a better name in there. But I like where your head's at. Work on that. That's your project for next Monday is to get a. Yeah, she's not gonna change it. All right, fantastic.
Yeah,
all right, I
keep
love
it going. I love
you,
it.
Mama.
I love it.
Love you, champ.
Bye.
Thank you, mama.
She said,
I knew it was coming,
she's
bro.
got us on and talking to me like I'm hearing myself. Like
Yeah.
turn the TV off, Mom.
I knew it was coming. I said it, bro. I knew it was coming. We love the moms, man. Shout out to your mom, man.
We love it.
We love support for you, man. A mother's love, it goes unmatched. So I love that, bro.
Absolutely. As I was saying, for Wednesday, though, again, jam-packed show. Outside of our moms joining the show, we've got Mr. Harrison Bailey, quarterback of the Florida Gators, will be kicking off our show at 8:35 on Wednesday, followed by Nick and Will, the authors, producers, illustrators, however you want to describe it, for the famous Read and React magazine that has been released. We're going to be talking all about it. There's over, I think, close to 100 pages in there. So super excited for that show. And maybe we'll have some more commits to talk about come Wednesday as well. So you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Dope lineup.
Absolutely. Well, let's dive into it, man. A lot of good buzz around the Florida Gators right now. First being, what do we say? Jera McCoy? Is that right? I think I said it right. That felt good.
Yeah, Jera. You got it. It rolled off pretty smooth.
Yeah, it did. I looked over. I go, just go. Send it. Jera McCoy, 6'6.5", 245 defensive lineman. We've been hearing a lot about him. I know you've been excited about him as well, alongside a few others. But Florida's been in a great place for this young man for quite some time. Some more crystal balls have flown through. We've already had a crystal ball from about a week or so ago, I think from Corey Bender. That dropped already. But this was kind of just one more nail in the coffin. I love this. I kind of love this noise and recruiting battle. Cancels his Texas OV. I don't got time to go to Texas because I'm going back to Florida to make sure my locker's ready. That's what's going on now. Right now, man, if you go look at Chancellor Campbell, the 6'8" offensive lineman. Now we're looking at Jera McCoy. I'm gonna give him 6'7" defensive line. Stephen Harris.
Yeah.
You've played a little defensive line in your day, yes?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Talk to me about what a 6'7". Who do you think comp wise when you think 6'7", 245? He's a junior in high school, Mr. Harris.
6'7", 245. I got to go Jarvis Moss, man.
Really?
I got to go Jarvis. He never quite got to the 245.
Okay.
I believe Soaking Wet Moss was probably 235 with Soaking Wet and 5-pound weights in his pocket. But yeah, definitely every bit of
he's 6'7",
6'6.5", 6'7". Yeah, every bit of 6'6", 6'1.5".
That's how he was able to get that
like
cock block. He got that extra.
Oh
inch.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, long, lengthy. That makes for a great defensive end. Just having that length, get guys off of you, be able to shed blockers and get your hands up in passing lanes when there's a passing downs if you don't get quite to the quarterback and getting them hands up. So I give him Jarvis Moss.
Now Moss
now
630.
I'm hoping he.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm hoping it pans out for him that we get him.
He becomes the Moss.
Yeah.
Now the 635. Do you think? I mean, is 645? That's a good weight. Do you think it'll go down, go up? Talk to me about that. Of what? I mean, again, I know we got Big Den at 400, right? But you got to, where's the sweet spot for mobility, effectiveness, etc. At
that height, that could be a little thin.
Okay,
but
so I was wondering 260 maybe. You're thinking
it depends on what we're asking him to do. But he has a long frame, so he can make up for a lot of stuff with that length. So I'm thinking maybe put on about 10, 15 more pounds before the end of his career with us. But he's not far off where he should have to gain too much more. You just want to just put on more muscle, not necessarily fat or anything. You just want to keep him lean, let him fly around the edge, use that length to get to the quarterback.
Hunter Crane says Dunlap was around 260. I feel like he was at 6'6", 6'7". Now you got to look, man. We talked about top 5 edge rushers this morning on the Monday mashup, and when you go look at those guys, like Dylan Stewart's, they're staying at that 6'6" range, 230, 220. He could be one that slides over. It all just depends on, I would say, his physicality, his technique, and how he chooses to carry that weight. So you got to think these guys are thrown into that defensive line because he is big right now in high school, but it's crazy how quickly 6'6", 230 is big. Don't get it twisted, but you could get bullied around if that weight isn't carried properly in that D line, in the interior.
And I would have to see his frame in person, just to see what his build's like what his shoulders like, what his knees are like, to know. To see if he's actually going to be able to put on that weight and will still be effective. Dunlap, the way he was built, he was able to carry that 260. Dunlap could have possibly carried 270 if he wanted to, 280 with just the way his frame was built. So
okay.
Moss,
you're 6'5"? You're 6'5"?
Yeah, I'm 6'5".
Okay. 250.
Yeah, I came in at 218 though, so and I went all the way to 288 before I left.
Okay. So that's what we're looking at. All right.
Yeah. That's why I say look at his frame. I had fatter knees. I had fatter knees and thicker ankles. So it was given that I was going to be able to put on.
You got a 5-pounder here, 5-pounder there. It adds up.
Yeah.
Love it.
For the big boned. That's not a medical term. My wife don't like when I say big boned, but it is some people with big bones.
Makes me feel better. Yeah. BB, what's up, baby? Frank says Alex Brown, Perry Mason. What about visitors for this weekend? Nose tackle, 6'4", 340. We'll probably get into visitors on Wednesday, Mr. Mason. Let's talk about where he sits right now, though, for Mr. McCoy. Ranked 163rd nationally, so just outside of a top 150 player, 17th defensive lineman in the country, and he's from Ole Miss, from the SIP. So, look, we talk about this over and over again. On ESPN, he's ranked 9th. He's a 5-star when you look at ESPN. Now, ESPN is kind of doesn't get a lot of love, so I'm not going to get carried away. But Rivals, who's also now kind of partnered with On3, they have him ranked 109, top 10 defensive lineman in the country. Really depends on how he kind of thrives this senior year. And I imagine if he puts on some more weight, right? Because
for sure.
Here's what's cool. I know you guys like to get frustrated and get mad about these rankings and whatnot, but when we had Keith Nabear on, he put things into a great perspective because Vernell Brown was a phenomenal example of somebody who's a great wide receiver. But again, how I might butcher this a little bit, but how he explained it is you've got, it was like the Dallas Wilson, the cat that went to Oregon. He goes, you got these guys that are up there that are playing certain positions that are valued more. So they're going to get a higher star, be higher rated as a wide receiver because of that need for that particular wide receiver. That's not discrediting Vernell Brown. That's just the position that he's in. So if you got McCoy, who's looked at it as a defensive lineman, where maybe if he did change his position, he'd be looked at more valuable as an edge rusher. Like that plays a factor on how they look at these guys.
Right.
So that's just something to kind of keep in mind of, like, don't get too caught up into these things with it too much of knick-knack. I know we want to. It's fun. Don't get into it. I do myself. Ultimately, overall, four-star kid, 91.73. I think that he'll make some climbs, though, throughout the year.
Yeah. I like that ESPN ranking. I'm not sure what goes all into their metrics, but to me, it seems like they putting a little future aspirations on those rankings. Like, where would he rank coming out of college? Like they're predicting him to fold out better with that ranking because it's too big of a difference between the two. You said 9th on one and 17th on the other.
No. It's ESPN's 9th. On 3 is 197. Rivals is 109, and ESPN and 247 doesn't even have him ranked. They have him as a 3-star.
So that's 9th at the position?
No, nationally.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
They have him ranked 9th nationally, where everyone else has him 100 and less. So the problem with ESPN, though, is because, look, I like it for this particular one, but they kind of grade them more, I would say, quarterly, where these other recruiting sites, I'd say, were more active. And
I got you.
ESPN loses value when you've got the majority, right? And kind of at least in the same ball. But the problem, 247 is starting to lose a little bit of luster. They kind of got plucked from On 3. They've definitely lost the spice that they have had. And you got to wonder if Rivals is going to kind of make a little bit more of a run with
a push
with the partnering of On 3. That value might start getting some traction back because it's just about having the guys to be able to go out there and get a true feel.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
hey, I'm available now.
Yeah. Boys and girls, 192 strong on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you guys are enjoying this type of content. Look, we have been talking about crystal balls on crystal balls. We talked about some this morning that are not a part of this group. Okay. Here's some more today. It just lets you know that these visits that are happening are in a good place. Another one that we'll talk about, Felix Ocho. He canceled his Oklahoma visit. And I was wondering if that would happen for some of these guys. And that's where, you look and we kind of would always kind of complain on Florida and Billy, why are you doing it first? Try to get it last. Well, Oklahoma was 3rd down the list, 4th, 5th down the list. And he visited 3 or 4 schools and he's like, Oklahoma ain't even touching these. So right now it appears to be it's in Michigan, Ohio State, Texas, and there's one more school. Florida's still in the mix. I haven't heard much from our side. I imagine Texas kid, that's probably where he'll end up. Especially with how we've been trending for other offensive linemen.
Yeah.
I
would say for sure, even with this one, the canceling that visit and then returning to Florida just speaks to the value of our program and what other people are seeing. Like, hey, man, this is a spot that you got to at least visit and consider seriously. So him shutting that down and wanting to come to Florida for that official visit, means a lot. And everybody loves the hype. Obviously, a lot of these players talked about the visit and how was your time like. And so I think that's standing out, just the way we're catching fire. Well, we've been hot, but it seems like recruiting is definitely picking up and going through the roof, and everybody's excited.
You give me this kid in Vondy Cleveland, okay? This recruiting, hey,
Vondy.
Some lies can be told, Steve.
Yeah, man.
We usually keep it honest. So we don't like to get too excited. We don't like to drink the Kool-Aid. We're very, just mellow, even keel type of group. Okay, we don't come on here.
I like that pairing.
Yeah, we don't scream and write spaceship. We don't do those kind of things here. We keep it even keel.
Yeah.
If you give me Cleveland.
Yeah, I like if you could pair. When you pair a D tackle and a DN in a class together to let those guys reminds me of Marcus Thomas and Jarvis Moss. I know I keep bringing those guys up, but their connection and their relationship, they competed who's going to get the most sacks this game and all that stuff. Even when Moss was sick, he always had that energy about him. So that competition between those two was contagious. So if we can get two guys like that to come in.
Infectious. It'll help for that class.
Sure.
Yeah. Look, it looks like the offensive line is catching a bug, okay? Because Javari Lucas is also, yeah.
Sale.
Listen, this is a rival's crystal ball right here. But I'm telling you, boys are all of a sudden they're deciding to work, which is fun. The tight end, I'm not even going to try to say that name because we'll just continue on. But the 6'6" tight end that we talked about a few weeks ago, I think with Corey Bender from IMG, who Georgia was making a late push for, but then they were in it for Marcus Bowman. Marcus Bowman is now committed to USC, and it looks like Florida still has a great lead on this big time. Again, massive tight end, 6'6", 257. Kiiki Aluma, I believe is how it's pronounced. But Javari Lucas announced today that he would be moving up his commitment day to June 16th, which is next Monday. Ironically, on Champ's Corner. I'm not saying that these things are correlated. Okay, I'm not. I'm just, when you start looking at the map and you start connecting the dots.
Yeah. I feel like the train is leaving the station, and some of these guys
it's gone, Steve.
And
it's already left.
they want to. Yeah, they got to put their name in the hat now. We need to know what you're gonna do. We're trying to build for the future. So and we're hot. So scholarships are limited. If this is a place you like, a place you love, you looked at it, you got a chance to see one or two, man, pull the trigger, man, make it real.
Absolutely. And look, I believe he's a legacy as well, if I'm not mistaken. From Glade Central, 6'5", 270 out of Florida.
Belglades. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Belglade. Yeah,
Belglades has a extreme history of great. Ray McDonald went to Belglades high school, so yeah. Well,
there we go. Again, we talked about Samaro Wingo on the earlier show, so we've been talking about all these crystal balls throughout this week. So these are some names to keep an eye on. Again, Javari will be next Monday, so I don't expect him to pop anytime soon, but we will have an answer on Monday and where he will be ending up. And then we'll continue to follow the McCoy commitment, Wingo as well. Local kid, St. Augustine. So maybe if he does commit, maybe we'll try to go and say hey to him for one of the games here at Friday Night Lights. That would be a good time. Brandon James tweeted it out because obviously he's a coach at St. Augustine High. I think he is the head coach at St. Augustine High, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Will Mazel says we need that tight end. They are built different. Those ploys are always legit. Yeah. We need ourselves just a nice, legitimate tight end. I think Amir Jackson's going to have a big year. And that was somebody who was talked about heavily, right? When we talked about, I think it was Bender or it was one of the on three guys. Great. They do a great job. We talked about this exact tight end situation and how Russ Callaway, and there was a lot of talk about getting tight ends involved and a tight end doing some big things through a camp. And so I asked the question of like, well, there's this long, lengthy tight end that's being more involved. I asked who it was, and we kind of again connected some dots. And Amir Jackson was somebody that was popping up, and that was, I believe, who was ahead of showing him around him by being Kika, the tight end from IMG. So there is a transition happening. We talked about that as well. How is that going to impact the offense? So love the fact that he's trending for it, because obviously he's hearing some things that he likes because he wants to play that true tight end position. This was a kid that some were looking at him like, hey, are you going to play? Will you transition and play this? He was like, nope. Yeah, I'm playing this. So if anybody even brought it up, he crossed him off the list. And Florida, I guess, has treated him as such this entire time and starting to pay some dividends. Yeah, and it's been a while since we really went after a high-profile tight end. And that's a part of the game that stretches the game for you, really. And I'm excited about the thought of us actually going after a guy like that at the tight end position. We got guys in the stable, guys that have been working, but to get someone that's high profile at that position, I love it. And I think we should use the tight end a lot more. That opens up the game for you when the linebackers have to worry about a true tight end that can block and run routes. It holds the safety a little bit longer as well. Absolutely. And Will says Poles equals Polynesian. Yes. Those Polynesian boys are built different. My entire life I've grown up watching them play in that West Coast. I love it, man. They listen. They fit in that New Zealand vibe when you watch them rugby, and they're like, like I'm like, let me
what is called a haka?
They're getting ready for war. I don't know if that's the same culture. I think it's close though. I mean, it's usually around the same kind of aura. But yeah, man, watching them usually stay out west, it hurts my heart. Those guys play with just a passion and a love that is built different. Like you said, they are literally built different. Just their mindset, the culture is much different. It's cool.
Admittedly, I love that. I love when they do the chanting and all that stuff, the energy. I love when they do that. And Murphy is Louis Murphy. Was it Polynesians? What they call?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, he was a little bit, right? I think he talked
Yeah,
about
Murphy
it.
is. Yeah, he is.
See?
His mom.
Built different. Yeah. So how is Polies? Is that how it's Polies? That's right. That's how I'm saying it, right?
Police.
It's got to be Polies, right?
Police. It got to be police.
Got to be Polies.
Thanks, Will. Shout out to Will Mizell, man.
Y'all got me in shambles on the damn show.
Will always in the chat, man. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah,
Major
man.
love, boss.
Mr. Mizell, man. I appreciate it. Police got put me in shambles.
Say it with me, Shelton.
Yeah, just got me stuttered over here. Oh, it's killing me. We were just watching Space Jam with the kid. It reminded me of his little birdie. That stutters a little bit, isn't it? No, it's not that. It's a skunk,
Hey, Jason, pause, Jason T, pause.
What did he say?
Pause, Jason T.
Oh Lord. Okay, all right. Let's keep it moving.
Too much going on in the world, Jason, right now.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, let's get into it. So we decided to do a little exercise, 2 exercises. We'll get into that one last. The last one that we'll talk about is MustWin Game. You're like, sure, they're all must wins. I know, but we'll talk about it. So that'll keep you on the hook for that one. Did you?
Yeah,
you didn't send it to me,
but that in on me. Yeah.
No, I texted it to you, and then I asked you for it. No.
My must win.
Your MustWin Game. I even sent you another text. Hey, can you check your phone?
It's all right. I'm ready though. My must win is always.
No.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. We're gonna. Yeah. What we're gonna do first is we're going to we decided to put together our perfect offense, our dream Florida Gator offense going back the last 15 years. Okay.
Yeah, you messed me up with that one.
No, you were good. You said,
the 15-year mark. I was like, 15 years? Come on. I forget how old I am, Sheldon. I'm sorry.
So I was going to say, like, you can't say Tebow and Harvin. Then I was like, let's do the last 15 years because that automatically eliminates them. And then it also kind of keeps it more fresh, right? It makes it, it's more fun, in my opinion, that way. And it keeps it more relatable, relatable in the sense of like, hey, yeah, I remember seeing them, even for the younger cats in the room. So, it'll be fun. I'm excited to go over it. We'll show yours first, and then we'll let the chat decide whose was the best. You're missing your tight end, by the way.
Yeah, so my quarterback, I got Kyle Trask for quarterback in the last 15 years. Heisman candidate. I felt like Trask should have won it that year, just with the performance he had. Big time year for him. But running back, we got Damian Pierce. Everybody know Mr. Truck you, run you over without a helmet. Just the way he played the game, the position, compact, stocky guy, explosive. I had to put him in there the last 15 years. Of course, Van Jefferson, wide receiver. And we had two wide receivers. I actually had Van Jefferson and Tony.
Yeah,
Kadarius Toney. Yeah. I needed somebody that could stretch the field, and I needed a slot type guy. And then my tight end, which is not on there. I went with who was my tight end, Shelton? I forget.
You did Reed.
Yeah, Reed. Jordan
Reed, right? Yeah.
I went with Jordan Reed at the tight end position.
Which was right on the bubble, by the way. Right on the bubble.
Huh?
Right
on the bubble.
15-year mark.
Yeah. You're
lucky.
I had to go with Jordan Reed.
You're lucky it felt like he played for 15 years. So
I wanted to go with the guy that everybody would have picked, but I'm trying to put together an offensive team. So I think
Jordan Reed was actually like a phenomenal pick.
Yeah, I think paired with Van Jefferson, I got somebody that stretches the field with Van. I got my slot guy in Tony, and then I got a perfect hybrid type tight end that's still tight end. Could be a regular tight end, but still can flex it out a little bit. So I had to go with Reed.
Yeah, I love Jordan Reed. So when I saw, I was like, "There's no way that he was in," but it was 2010. So I almost took Marcus Pouncey, but his last year was 2009. He got drafted in 2010. I was like, I can argue it if I wanted to.
You could have slid him.
Technically, it's the 16th. Like we're in the 16th year, so it's too late.
Yeah, and then of course my offensive lineman, Osiris Torrance and Max Garcia. 2 dogs. Of course, we know what they're doing in the NFL, especially Torrance, the career he's been having, and Garcia. So yeah, that's my 5 Well, no, it's more than 5. What was it? 7 people?
7. Yeah. I don't know. Our graphic got a little messed up. I
7
missed it. That
total.
was my fault. We
Yeah,
like
yeah,
using
7
AI, make it a
total,
little more appealing and fun and change it up.
No, I like it. It's pretty cool. Wait
It's
to see
cool.
yours.
They may have got. Listen, I can't say police correctly. They may have got a little bit of the culture. Okay, they may have got one of our Kyles mixed up. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and get ahead of this. I didn't put this together. All right. They go, why Van ain't got a Gator helmet? He didn't want one. Okay, guys, he didn't want one for his photo. Damien wasn't even wearing a face mask. Let's not get
we was up
of
42-0 sideline. You don't even see the Gatorade bottle in his hand. Yeah, we were winning.
All right. Listen, before I even show it, y'all know who I went on the quarterback. If you've been following this thing for at least 3 minutes, it's Will Grier. Like, it wasn't even a question for me who my quarterback was going to be. It was Will Grier from Jump Street. I forgot Kyle Trask even existed. No, I'm just kidding. It was always Will Grier, okay? I took Kyle Pitts. I was like, he gave me a gift. You can see the version of Kyle Pitts. Yeah, maybe not this version of Kyle Pitts, but
Kyle Trask Pitts.
Kyle Trask Pitts. I feel like I got a steal with that combo. Some may argue that you got Kyle Trask, but I would still take Will Grier over it anyways. Again, we didn't do this on purpose. He sent me his list, and I was like, honestly, my list isn't close to his. So Antonio Callaway for me is always special for me with the walk-off against Tennessee, the 64-yard touchdown. That to me is he's one of my favorites because he just kind of he saved my. I remember watching that game, so he's got a lot memory for me. And then Demarcus Robinson played around the league, a lot of close after the fact. I think he played at Jags, if I'm not mistaken. So I think I mean those are two great guys. I think Kadarius Toney. I'm a big fan of Kadarius Toney on a personal level. I know he was great, but wasn't really my main. I love Van Jefferson. Obviously won a Super Bowl with the Rams. So and it had his kid when he won the Super Bowl. So that was cool stuff. And then I think offensive lineman, I think I crushed you with getting Juwan Taylor, and I took Osiris Torrance, who obviously was great. So
yeah,
I don't know. Let me know. Listen in the comments though. Who
we both got Torrance, yeah.
Oh, and my running back's missing. Okay, my running back, I didn't realize it. I took Lamichael Pirine. Lamichael Pirine was my guy growing up. I think, look, Dameon Pierce, you probably could argue is probably better. He just didn't play a lot. He just wasn't utilized. But he really hit, like when you saw what he was able to do in the NFL, how he hit the ground running. But Michael Pirine was one of my favorites during his time. I mean, he ate while he was here. I almost wanted to put MJ, Montrell. I mean, Montrell did some great things in these last 2 years for Florida, but it's hard for me to put him over Lamichael Pirine.
I was trying not to go too close to the current year and try to dig a little bit further. You know what I mean? Far as picking guys, I didn't want to get too close to the current roster. So that's why I picked the guys I picked. But I like your pick with Callaway, Robinson, and I like them paired with Grier.
Yeah.
You know, the way you picked your team looks like a solid offensive lineup. I don't think you can guard any one of those guys.
A lot of size
in college.
A lot of size, and you got one
cornerback.
You got a dude back there, Will Grier. That's what I'm excited.
Yeah, if you got one dog at cornerback, whoever your second or third cornerback is gonna be getting killed.
Roasted. Jason T says Pitt's got that MJ skin. All right, see, this is why we can't even have fun. We can't.
I feel like okay, let the man
go. I think Dimps was right on the cusp of over 15 years. He was 2009.
Jeff Dimps?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So Scars is saying that Matt Jones, who? Matt Jones, who?
Matt Jones. Hey, listen, yeah.
I feel like the running back was a little bit thinner. I think wide receivers, I think any one of our guys were good. I think you got to steal with Jordan Reed. I love me some Jordan Reed.
Yeah.
Listen, I think I'd be crazy to say Jordan Reed over Pitts, but Jordan Reed was that dude. Look,
career-wise, it sounds crazy.
If he doesn't fumble that ball against Georgia, he's up there. Okay, I have nightmares about that game. That game was what almost caused me and my wife not to be married. Okay, like that game put me into an absolute mental house.
Yeah.
I was
college career-wise. Kyle Pitts with the numbers that he put up, but watching the game, I got to go with Jordan Reed.
Yeah,
man.
Good point.
And then you look at the careers now moving forward to the NFL. Reed's NFL career right now is better, or was better hopefully everything can turn around for my guy Pitts eventually here in the future, with what they're trying to do, but I don't know which one he laughing at, but once he come in.
He's got the semi treatment.
He said
I knew I should. Well, y'all missed it, but I pulled the graphic up, and Stephen Harris goes, wait a minute. What's up with Kyle?
Go back.
He goes, put that back up. Put that back up. He goes, oh, you have to leave that. They're going to get your ass.
No, we had to leave it, guys. We could have corrected it, but it was way too funny.
Yeah. Trey Burton at tight end? That's another good one?
Yeah.
That's who played forever. Trey Burton's another great one. That is another great one.
I was trying not to go hybrid type wide receivers too much, but I think
that's 100%.
right on the edge.
He played the slot a little bit. Yeah, he played both. I think
Reed was right on the edge. On the edge.
Reed played, I feel like that. I mean, Pitts, I feel, played more wide receiver. Like Reed gave you more of that, like, true old fashioned, because he lined up against Hernandez. I mean, that was the 2-man tandem.
Yeah.
Like that
I can't even remember just off my head plays of Kyle Pitts actually blocking like a regular tight end.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Most of his career is like a wideout. Yeah.
Oh, Dempsey Rainey left after 2011, so we could have used one of those guys. We kind of messed up there. I thought, for some reason, when I looked it up, I thought they were 2009. But I guess not, because they got there in 2008. Thinking of the Swamp Kings, I think they got there.
Yeah. They were still kind of in the scat back category for me, not a every down running back. So that's why I didn't add them. I know the speed and elusiveness, but I was trying to build a team here.
Trey Burke?
That's going to go and play game in and game out without substitutions.
I think they're great. Y'all, there's another comment section below. Who won? Which lineup was the best one for you guys? All right. Yeah. Let's before we get into our lineup here. That's not what I wanted. Let's again another kind of shout out for what's going on here in just a little month's time. We just added another content creator, Murky Waters, will be joining this masterpiece.
It's getting murky
as well. Absolutely. Look, this is going to be an absolute blast, ladies and gentlemen. What you see right now, I mean, this is just the two of us, is going to be Amplitude with all of your favorite Gator creators in person. Okay, and Steve and I don't hold back. Like when Steve and I are in Gainesville, okay, and you're riding a scooter, you're not safe. Okay, like anything can happen.
Nobody's safe.
When Steve and I hit the streets of DeVille, there's no bedtime. Okay.
Yeah, listen, going down.
When we were in Gainesville, for
hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, we were in the DeVille for the Orange and Blue game. I was staying at my aunt's house, and I was like, hey, I'll be home late, and then I called. I was like, it's gonna be a little bit later, and then eventually I just quit calling because it got so late, and I got there and left before anybody woke up, and they called like, did you even stay here? I go, in business. Gotta get back to the tailgate. 6 o'clock sharp. Yeah. Cody, where you at? Let's go. So when Steve and I hit the Ville, it's a good time.
Eventful moment for me. I'm not used to that quick turnaround, but you're a man of business, Joe, and I got to commend you, man. We went out, we hung out, and the next morning you guys were up, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to go, man.
Fireball in hand.
I don't know how you do it, but
Steve comes rolling up. There's a full-blown stage. He's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, they got beers popped already. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I say, Lord, I ain't gonna make it.
He's like, these white boys are on a different level than I'm prepared for. Okay.
Yeah, different level of party.
I had Mr. Harris drinking old fashions the night before. He was drinking like it was water. He goes, what is this? I go, Harris, you gotta slow it down. He goes, no, I need about a jug. I need a jug.
Never had one.
I handed it to him. I turned around to take my little sip. I look back. He's like, that was it? I go, whoa.
It had a cherry in it, show. And what I'm supposed to do with a drink with a cherry in it?
I love that Mr. Graham shows up and he gets one. He's taking old fashioned.
Yeah.
He's classic.
Yeah. Y'all put me on. First time,
I got you.
And it was the best one I ever had. I don't know if it was like orange zest or whatever, pills, whatever they did. It was fantastic. Shout out to Spurriers, by the way.
I'm glad that I can teach you a thing or two. That's always fun. You know?
Yeah, that's about it. That's all.
That was about it. And it had to rep the cowboy hat. But look, we got July 27th, massive Independent Gator Media Day. Get your tickets now before we're sold out. It's going to be an absolute blast. Again, this is just a glimpse of what you get. You get to come hang out with us in person, and we're identical, if not more insane in person. So this is Monday night. We got to keep it taken. We got to wake up in the morning. We got to be humans. Now it will be Sunday
Yeah.
night, or Sunday, so maybe we won't be that crazy. But be sure to come hang out with us. We want to see all your beautiful faces. And do the
Definitely
dang
pull
thing.
up. And if you guys want to be vendors, or if it's, I don't know if it's too late, but if you want to be a
Sponsors.
vendor or you want to sponsor or support any type of way, make sure you DM Shelton, send them a message, reach out to any one of these guys, man. We'll be happy to assist you. But it's definitely gonna be a great time. Can't wait to see everybody.
Oh, it's our boy Dominique Pizzanelli. $5 says because Billy is doing the damn thing. I can run through a brick wall when he tweets the sunglass emoji. Go Gators from Jazzy. Jazzy
For sure.
from Dominic.
Shout out Dominic. We appreciate you. Smash that like button, guys, too, and share with a friend.
Yes, sir. Last little bit here, 250 strong. Let's get to 100 likes before the show ends. So, the point of this was fun, okay? The must-win game. And I don't want to hear, I already hear the chat. They're all must-win, so. But I got to argue with you on that because I think this year, with the changes of things, 12 teams, it's not like it used to be where it's like, yeah, this isn't a conversation because they are all must-wins. And of course, we want to win them all.
Yeah.
But the reason what made me think of this was like last year, if we go look at that schedule, that LSU game at home, and you could have argued the Tennessee and the Georgia, those were must-wins, but you really felt it going into that LSU game. And that game,
Yeah.
you go back like that was the must-win moment because it was, for me, the moment where the good things we saw at UCF, there was glimpses at Tennessee, the glimpses at Georgia, it all synced up and came together and then carried us through the end of the season. And so that was a staple of like you got to have it figured out. Now, I would have liked it sooner, but that for me was a must-win for them to kind of to save whatever they had at that point. With that being said, going into this season, what game do you feel is like, hey, this game is going to be this sets a tone. This is the must-win for us. And it could be late in the season because it could be, hey, I feel so good in these games.
Have two.
We got to close out strong. Go ahead.
I just have two must wins. My first one for sure is Miami.
Okay.
Without a doubt, must win at the highest level of competition in football. This is the greatest must win game in years for me. Like this Miami game it's been marked on the calendar since they beat us in the swamp. So we got to go down there and tear, I would say, their house down. But maybe we won't tear the Hard Rock up. I like the people at Hard Rock. Just don't like Miami. It's not y'all stadium. So yeah, but it should definitely definitely must win. And then the only other game for me, and that's every year, Florida State. Florida State. And just because my passion of hating them is just through the roof. And I don't care. Every time we play them, it's must win. Florida State for sure. So Miami and Florida State. Miami just because of what happened to us last year, and then all the smack that they've been talking. We got to get back. It's almost like Georgia when they stormed the field on us that one year, and then we came back and smashed them when Spikes met Sean Marino in the hole.
Yeah,
that get back. We need that type of get back with this Miami game. So.
The Miami game it seems like a no-brainer, and I had a feeling you were going to say it, and I want to say it, but there's part of me that doesn't want to say Miami, and I'll give you my reason why. Because I look at LSU, Miami, they're back-to-back, they're both away. I believe we'll win one of them. I don't know which one, but I believe we will win one of them, okay? Let's say we just go 1-1 there. We're 4-1 going into Texas, I believe is how the schedule works out. Let me double-check before I
believe you're thinking along the lines of the must-win to get us where we're trying to go.
Exactly. That's where my head's at. I'm playing the long ball. I'm playing the mature game here, boys and girls. Okay.
Yeah, mature. Yeah, for sure.
So we 3-1 going into Texas. All right, at home. For me, that is, I like the must-win game because it's early enough in the season where to set a tone. Okay, and you may drop one right between the LSU and Miami because that's just back to back. Those are going to be tough bros. And I understand Miami. I want to beat Miami too. But if you really think about it, like outside of just our egos, okay, and hearing them chirp for 4 years, it really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, for sure.
And so if I had to choose one to lose, I'm okay with that one. You go and you beat Texas at home. You get a fan base absolutely insane, and especially if you bounce back after that Miami, going into A&M, you've got great momentum for the next 2 weeks. You come back to Mississippi State at home. You kind of get a little bit of a T-ball. going into Georgia, you need that momentum at that time.
For
is
sure.
my reason behind it. I think Georgia, since you picked 2, Georgia would kind of be that next threshold, in my opinion, to get you through the rest of the season, because then you're going to have Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and essentially that's 3 away games, and then Tennessee, Florida State at home. So
the
Texas one is big for me, especially with the Arch Manning and with how bad they beat us last year. They're extremely talented. If there's a team to go in and just knock and punch their mouth in, that team will give you the belief like, hey, we can get this done. This is our home, and it plays a huge factor in the rankings for the SEC. Again, thinking big picture, the Miami game in all sense of what it is, outside of again the ego part of it.
Yeah.
If we lose one game and it's to Miami, we're exactly where we want to be. Again, I don't want to lose that game. This is what makes us fun. That's what makes this conversation cool, because I can only pick one. Yeah. So that for me was why I chose to go with Texas. I think if I had to go with it.
It makes perfect sense in the grand scheme of things of what we're trying to accomplish, playoffs and all that stuff, and where we'll be as a team. And you're right, with the Miami game being that early, we do have that LSU game. We much rather beat LSU out of the 2, though we want to smash both of those guys. Pause. Both of those teams. We definitely.
We got to end this show. Out of control.
We definitely LSU being in the SEC. That definitely we want to beat that game and propels us into that Texas, which will determine what we're really made of. That Texas game with where it's placed really going to show, are we who we supposed to be or who we say we are, for us and to get back. And it's going to be a big time game. Arch, Texas, Florida, that whole rivalry between who produces the best football. It's a lot riding on that game, and just us as a team and what we believe we can do with winning it all this upcoming season. So I concede that to you that Texas game is probably the biggest game, well, the biggest must-win game.
Look, I like the Miami pick. I think it's a great pick, especially
got to.
If this game, let's say this game was last year and there was 4 years gap, I could argue it much more, because look, the rivalry there isn't as strong with the players as it is with the fans. So there wouldn't be this turmoil that was created last year. So that's where I also believe this game, you could really push for the Miami game because of how much animosity came from it, how they disrespected us. Like there's
a get back, man.
Yeah, there's a get back. Texas there's no bad blood there as of now, because it's such a new matchup. But again, I'm just thinking, keep the emotions aside. The importance of it. But I think the Miami one, look, because of where it is, you could argue, here's the thing. You win that, you go home, the first legitimate home game, because the first 2, Long Island and South Florida, your first kind of real big matchup at home. You're coming off a huge Miami win. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
So I don't think
it's just in recruiting. We've already been not in their backyard, because all of Florida is ours, but for the players that are a little further south, for us to put the beats on Miami, definitely does a lot for us recruiting wise. So I think we need to go down there and smash those guys and just snatch the rest of their heart out, for sure.
I think the education level of the Miami fans on Twitter, it's gotten so bad that it doesn't even faze me anymore. It's gotten to the point where I even if we did win, I don't know if they could comprehend it, right? Like, I don't know if they'd be able to read my tweets. So like, I understand why everyone wants Florida to win, because they want to be able to go back and flex it on the timeline. Look, my thing is, you guys beat us 41-17 and choked when it mattered most. Like, that's like, if we look at the grand scheme, look, you won. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. Yeah. But if I told you at the beginning of the year, hey, you're going to lose to us 41-17, but you're going to win the AC championship, you would give it up. If I said, hey, you're going to beat us 41-17, but choke at the end, you're like, no, I want the other one. But let's call it what it is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So
for sure.
I'm not going to get caught in your little sheep games. All right? I'm here for the big boy stuff. I'm here playing for championships. They don't know what that is. They don't understand that.
I never really had any issue. I'm from Miami. They won. They've been a great team way in the past, like prehistoric days. Like before dinosaurs were extinct, they were great. They did their thing, but they fan base, like you said, is shaky. They don't show up for their fans, but when they beat us, it's just like they got this amazing rush of energy. I seen people come out the wood. I didn't even know they had that many fans.
My point exactly.
I still don't, but they came out. And so I just wanted just to beat them, just to put them.
They're
back
not going to be there
belong.
though, Steve.
I don't even want to. I'm not even going to brag about it.
They're not even going to be there, so you're wasting your time. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. They're not going to be there. It's not going to be like them at the games. They're going to be non-existent.
Yeah,
Will agrees
sure.
with me. Mr. Mizell says hand text that, and we are rolling. Listen, I'm glad that there is someone on a stable plane.
Yeah, for sure.
Fan base in shambles with my answers there. Boys and girls, fantastic show as it always is on a Monday for the Champs Corner. No commit.
Yes,
no sunglasses from the Nate. Maybe we'll get one tomorrow, and you guys will see me for a couple days in a row. That's Mr. Stephen Harris at Famo Gang 365 on the Bird.
Let's go, baby.
Give him a follow. Check out the new High Top Sports merch store. All right, link
The
is
merch,
in the description.
baby,
Yeah, we selling some gear, baby. Selling some gear. But y'all be good. Smash the like button. Jam-packed show for Wednesday. Harrison Bailey, quarterback. Will and Nick from Read and React. I mean, we don't stop just pumping it out there, boys and girls. Turn the bell on in case anything does break. You know we will be here. Until next time, that's Steve. I'm Shelton. Peace and love, baby.
Go Gators. Major Love, Will, Bryce, Kenny, Beck.
S. Beck, baby.
FGB 100 Hot Boy.
Can't spell chump without you. Barrett 71. Rob Little. Swolder. Mac Attack. Y'all be good, boys. B-Bean. Oh, wait, let's see who won. David was the number 1 interactor for our leaderboard tonight. Let's see who number 2
Shout out Dave. Who number 2? Dave.
FG Boy Hot Boy. I think that's
FGB Hot Boy.
I think that's Kenny.
You know he got that name from Keywan when he said that day.
Yeah. He changed it right away. That was number 3. Oh, he was 2 too. It's not giving me who's number 2 right now.
Rook. I see you, boss.
Probably not Rook, to be honest with you. Hunter Crane's number 3, and Kenny is number 2. Appreciate y'all for being interactive all night, boys and girls. Y'all be good.
Hey, man. Yeah, we're going to do something where we get a prize at the end of the month. We're going to see something.